Episode 7, How I Learn English O1 Level. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this English podcast for beginners. In today's episode, I am going to talk about how I learn English. Many people around the world want to learn English. Some people learn English for work, some for travel, some for education, and others simply because they enjoy learning new languages. English is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world. It is used in business, technology, education, entertainment, and communication. Because of this, learning English can create many opportunities in life. When I first started learning English, I knew only a few words. I could say simple greetings like hello and how are you? But I could not understand long conversations. At the beginning, learning English felt difficult. Sometimes I felt confused when I heard native speakers talking quickly. However, I decided to continue learning. I understood that every new skill requires time, patience, and practice. Nobody becomes fluent in one day. Learning happens step by step. One of the first things I did was learn basic vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important because words are the building blocks of every language. Without words, it is impossible to create sentences or communicate ideas. Every day, I try to learn a few new words. Sometimes I learned words about food. Other days, I learned words about family, school travel, or daily activities. Learning a small number of words every day helped me build my vocabulary gradually. I always keep a notebook for new words. When I find an unfamiliar word, I write it down. Then I write its meaning and try to use it in a sentence. This helps me remember the word more easily. Reading is another important part of my learning process. At first, I read very simple texts. I chose short stories and easy articles because they were easier to understand. If a text was too difficult, I became frustrated. That is why I started with beginner-level materials. As my English improved, I began reading longer texts. Reading helped me learn grammar, sentence structure, and vocabulary. It also improved my understanding of how English is used in real situations. Listening is one of the most important skills in language learning. Many learners focus only on grammar and vocabulary, but listening is equally important. I listen to English every day. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Other times, I watch English videos on the internet. Listening helps me become familiar with pronunciation and natural speech patterns. At first, I understood very little. Native speakers seem to speak very quickly. However, I did not give up. I continued listening every day. Slowly, my ears became accustomed to the language. One useful technique is listening to the same audio more than once. The first time, I try to understand the general meaning. The second time, I pay attention to new words. The third time, I focus on pronunciation. Speaking is another important skill. Many learners understand English but feel nervous when speaking. I had the same problem. At the beginning, I was afraid of making mistakes. I worried that my pronunciation was not perfect. However, I realized that mistakes are a normal part of learning. To improve my speaking, I started talking to myself in English. This may sound strange, but it is very effective. I describe things around me and talk about my daily activities. For example, I say, I am sitting in my room. I am studying English. The weather is nice today. These simple sentences help me practice speaking regularly. Sometimes I stand in front of a mirror and speak English. This helps me build confidence and become more comfortable using the language. Pronunciation is another area that requires practice. English pronunciation can be challenging because some words are not pronounced exactly as they are written. To improve my pronunciation, I listen carefully to native speakers and repeat what they say. I try to copy their pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. Repetition is very important. When I hear a useful sentence, I repeat it several times. Repeating sentences helps improve both pronunciation and fluency. Grammar is also important. Grammar helps us create correct sentences. However, I do not spend all my time studying grammar rules. Instead, I try to learn grammar through reading and listening. When I see a grammar pattern many times, it becomes easier to understand and remember. One thing that helps me stay motivated is setting goals. Goals give direction and purpose. For example, I may decide to learn 10 new words this week. Or I may decide to listen to English for 20 minutes every day. Small goals are easier to achieve than very large goals. Every time I achieve a goal, I feel motivated to continue. Consistency is one of the most important factors in language learning. Studying for 15 minutes every day is often better than studying for 3 hours only once a week. Daily practice keeps the language fresh in the mind. Even small amounts of practice can create significant progress over time. Technology has made language learning easier than ever before. Today, there are many websites, applications, podcasts, and videos available online. These resources allow learners to practice English anytime and anywhere. I often use my phone to listen to English while walking or traveling. Another helpful habit is thinking in English. Instead of translating everything from my native language, I try to think directly in English. For example, when I see a chair, I think chair instead of translating the word in my head. This helps develop faster language processing. Patience is extremely important when learning a language. Many people become discouraged because they do not see immediate results. However, language learning is a long journey. Progress may be slow at times, but every practice session contributes to improvement. Sometimes I make mistakes, and that is okay. Mistakes are valuable because they show me what I need to improve. Successful learners do not avoid mistakes. Instead, they learn from them and continue practicing. I also enjoy learning English because it connects me with people from different countries. Language is a bridge between cultures. Through English, I can learn about different traditions, lifestyles, and perspectives. This makes learning more interesting and meaningful. One of my favorite activities is watching English videos with subtitles. Subtitles help me understand new words and follow conversations more easily. As my listening skills improve, I try watching videos without subtitles. This challenges me and helps me develop stronger listening comprehension. Writing is another useful skill. Sometimes I write short paragraphs about my day, my hobbies, or my future plans. Writing helps organize thoughts and reinforces vocabulary and grammar. I do not worry about writing perfectly. The goal is practice and improvement. Learning English has taught me many lessons beyond language itself. It has taught me patience, discipline, persistence, and confidence. Every new word learned is a small achievement. Every conversation understood is a sign of progress. If you are learning English, remember that everyone starts as a beginner. Even fluent speakers were once learners. Do not compare yourself to others. Focus on your own progress and celebrate your improvements. Try to make English part of your daily life. Listen to English music, watch English videos, read simple texts, and practice speaking whenever possible. Learning becomes easier when it is connected to activities you enjoy. Before ending this episode, I want you to think about your own learning journey. How do you learn English? What methods help you the most? How much time do you practice every day? Try answering these questions in English. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. I hope this podcast helps you improve your English step by step. Remember, practice every day, stay patient, and never give up. Learning English is a journey, and every step forward is important. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.